welcome to prompt number 137. This is a special episode. Well, this episode is normal, but if you want to watch me create this illustration while having a live interview with Brad from Brave the Woods, he has a YouTube channel, he posts on Instagram, he's a fellow artist and graphic designer, so if you want to watch me create this in a real time and talk about art stuff and life stuff, and other stuff, check out the link in the description to watch the interviewed version of this illustration. But for now, this is going to be a time lapse and talking about the art drawing. Okay, let's get into the prompt. All right, we have, oh goodness, I keep struggling opening that. We have one. We have Mad Scientist. That leaves it so open. All right, here we go. Surprisingly, these single prompts are always the hardest prompts because they are too open. They're so open that I struggle to come up with an idea and narrow it down and be creative with one single word. But on the other hand, single prompts are the easiest to get creative with, so if I do find myself feeling a little more inspired than usual, a single word prompt is the best thing ever because I can get really crazy with it. So I did get crazy with it. In today's prompt, I'm actually going to be making a digital animated GIF, and unfortunately I ran out of time, so I kind of cut some corners near the end, but this is definitely an idea that I want to revisit when I have more time. This was unfortunately the last video that I prepared for my 2-week vacation in Australia, so when it came down to finishing this prompt, I had to really cut out a few things that I wanted to do, but enough excuses, let's talk about the art. As you can see, I wanted to create a really fun and silly mad scientist. Mad scientist is so open. Typically you just think of a crazy old guy or something, but I wanted to do, as usual, maybe a naked, sexy female mad scientist. I don't know. But then I thought about how cool it would be if I created her environment and made, like I said, an animated GIF, and I went with that. I got kind of excited. I got too into it, a little too ambitious. As usual, what's new? So because this is going to be an animated GIF, I had to do this digitally. I mean, I guess I could do a traditional GIF, which honestly one day I would love to do. That'll be a video much later. For now, I am using Procreate and I'm using an Apple Pencil to draw with, and I'm using an iPad Pro. As usual, all of the supplies I use in my videos will be in the description, so if you're ever curious about what I'm using, make sure to check there. So like I mentioned, I wanted to create an environment for our mad scientist to be in, and as you guys know, I love isometric rooms. Basically, it's a room that doesn't have a vanishing point, so everything is kind of boxy, and it has a fixed perspective. It's just a really fun and simple way to do an environment, and it really fits my simple geometric style, so I love doing them. The first half of the inking is done live during the interview with Brad, so again, if you want to watch me talk about art stuff, we had a fun time, saw Kasey made an appearance, you're not going to want to miss this. So again, check out the link in the description if you want to watch that interview and watch just how slowly I actually work on these illustrations in real time. In my defense, it's a little hard to talk and draw at the same time, but also I'm not that used to digital art, so I was a little out of my comfort zone, but I really enjoyed this illustration and turning it to an animated GIF. Like I said, I just wish I had more time, and I did really end up rushing it at the end. It still turned out really cool, but there are a lot of mistakes, and I can't wait to do this again when I have more time. So anyways, let's talk about the idea of our mad scientist. As you can obviously tell, this is a plant-based mad scientist. She loves cacti because, as you guys know, I love cacti. And I was pretty close to actually putting myself in this illustration, but I decided not to. Originally, I had our sexy mad scientist girl sitting on a cabinet, cackling away at all of her experiments and success with this weird giant cactus creature on the ground. But as I got near the end of this illustration, I decided that I needed to cut out the cabinet and turn her into something else, as you will see later. I needed to cut out as many details as possible, and unfortunately the scientist was the main detail because humans are hard to draw. But honestly, I don't feel any different about this illustration with all of the corners I cut. I still think it turned out really fun, and this is a new format or subject for our prompt series. So let's go over all of these, I guess, experiments in this illustration. Starting on the left, we have a cactus full of holes because why not? In the center of the floor, we have our giant cactus creature who is toppled over. Their dirt is spilled out and they are really struggling to just live their life. I gave them no head. Originally, I wasn't even going to give them a face, but then I thought it would be really cute to put this really silly, simple face on them, and they just look so content, but also a little disturbed. In the back, we have two cacti on top of a experiment. The first one is a normal tall cactus with a face, and the other one behind it is a cat cactus, and they are sitting on top of a pig that is turning into a cactus. Or is it a cactus that's turning into a pig? I have no idea. I wanted to put some extra details onto the walls, so I put a sign that says "Do not feed" and some chains to keep our giant cactus creature in place so that he doesn't try to run away. As I carried on with this illustration, I found myself wanting to add more and more details despite not having time, but I thought I could always add some cactus poking out here and there. So I added a few cactus arms sticking out of the bars in the window, and I created like a little mouse hole on the floor, and there's a cactus coming out of that. These small details I think are just really effective and just really interesting, and I'm obsessed with drawing cacti. What can I say? When it came to our mad scientist, like I said, I got rid of the whole detail that she was a human, and I turned her into her own experiment. So our cactus mad scientist is half human, half cactus. I don't know how she survives. I don't know what's happening, but there she is, just standing there, half cactus, looking really stupid but really funny. I love her. So originally my animated GIF idea was to have a few things moving around. So I was going to make the pig floating around and bubbles coming off of it. Maybe the cactus on top of it were going to laugh and move around. I wanted the cactus creature in the center to move their shoulders up and try to stand up. And of course I was going to have our mad scientist laughing away. But like I said, I ran out of time, and something else I also wanted to do was have a lightning shining in through the barred window. I thought that would make a really interesting visual, and also playing around with color is always fun on top of animated bits. However, something had to be cut, so in the end I decided to only do the color lightning situation. It was the most simple animation I could do, and I think it was the most visually interesting, so that's what I ended up doing. Unfortunately, I really rushed this bit, so there are so many mistakes, so many lighting mistakes. The barred window, it has white. I forgot to color it in dark. The shadow on our bad scientist dress should be shadowed during the light, but then not shadowed. Anyways, I'm sure you guys can find all the mistakes. Despite rushing it, I am really happy with how this turned out, and it was really fun doing a different style. I guess going from watercolor not only to digital, but making an animated GIF was so much fun, and I really liked the change of pace. And I hope you guys did too. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this prompt, and I'll see you guys in the end card. Just a reminder, I am still in Australia, so there are not going to be any prompt entries at the end of this video, but feel free to join in if you just want to have some fun. And with that, goodbye.